there, hockey fans. This is Denise Carl, New York Islanders' 7th woman, and once again on the phone, we have Anthony Curatolo from the Hockey Guys. Hey, Anthony.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay, I guess. It's a little cold outside, but I wanted to do something real quick because I did go to Iceworks today and had a nice long conversation with Scott Gordon prior to their game tomorrow against the Boston Bruins. And the first thing I wanted to say is we have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is Big Andy Sutton is back in the lineup.
And let me tell you how much they have missed his physical presence on the blue line.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you say that because one of the quotes from Scott said that they really did miss that element of physical play, and it was obvious without Andy. And not now that they've lost Tim Jackman and Sean Bergenheim, both to injury. Tim Jackman is day-to-day. Sean Bergenheim will be out at least a week. We really need Andy back in the lineup. Also, for the big presence, they've called up Jesse Yanosu, and he will be back in the lineup and playing tomorrow, even though he really didn't know he was playing. And Scott just said that was just lost in translation.
Well, congratulations for the kid on getting a call up again this year, and hopefully he'll be as lucky as he was in his first NHL career appearance scoring a goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. His first appearance, he scored his first NHL goal, and we're hoping that he scores a couple more tomorrow, along with everybody else, of course. Okay.
The scary thing is, though, kids. We need those vets coming back.
Yeah. Well, when I did ask about Doug Waite, there really is no word. He said that he is skating, however, he cannot practice with the team. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not there really was something a lot more wrong with Doug than they had actually told us. Okay. The other thing that was evident at practice is they let Jack Hillen have a day off. This is his second day off, but they told me that he was perfectly fine. And it was questioned about Richard Park.
Richard Park. What can be said about Richard Park outside of his -8, which everybody seems to be taking a little bit too into consideration, I feel.
Yeah.
Without Park, there are no leaders on this team right now. I mean, yeah, sure, you have Trent Hunter, you have Brendan Witt back, and there is that nice balance between the veterans and the youth. However, Richard Park is really the go-to guy. He's like a third coach wearing a uniform.
Absolutely, absolutely. And according to Scott Gordon, he really is not concerned about his numbers whatsoever. He said that they might be unique. However, if anyone does not realize what Park brings to the game, then they just don't know Richard Park.
And that's exactly what I wanted to state was, you know what? Park knows his role as a role player. He can play any four lines, any position when they call upon him to do. And, he's that veteran presence that they really need. And it shows during TV timeouts when you're at the games because you see him working with the younger players along with the coaches, grabbing the clipboard and just having those little chit-chats with the players to get them to really just focus on the mental aspects that he can help them out with.
Right. And we don't know exactly what the lines are because now that he does have the call-up and he might be putting Blake Como or Robbie Schremp or both back in the lineup, he really wasn't too sure about the lineups for tomorrow. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game tomorrow to see what Scott Gordon does.
The scarier aspect, Denise, is the big bad Bruins are back.
Oh, boy, yep.
And they have a really nice team, even with the loss of Phil Kessel. A lot were questioning where they would get their offense from. But when you have names like Mark Savard and Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci and Michael Ryder, and the list goes on, Mark Recchi, congrats to the old GOAT on a career performance the other night. He finally notched, I believe, number 250. Mm-hmm. And they're a team to watch out for. They're a team to really watch out for. They could take over the Eastern Conference very quickly over the next couple of weeks with the way they've been playing, especially youngster Tuukka Rask and net. That kid is really primed and poised for this game, and he's really making an impact for that team.
Absolutely. And even though Scott Gordon knows that they've been on the road longer than any other team, once they're back home, he knows he can't take for granted that they're just going to win just because they are home. So they're really going to have to work hard. This is definitely going to be an interesting game and an interesting 2 weeks while they are at home.
And Gordon made a great point because last night, the perfect example would have been the Philadelphia Flyers. New coach, back home, all the anticipation and momentum off a big win, and and they get shut out at home.
Yeah.
So he's absolutely right. Just because they're home and comfortable, no, let's get the game back, let's get the focus back, and realize that they need to get back on the winning track.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a very interesting game. I do have a lot more to transcribe, but I just haven't been able to do it. I figured this would be the best way to get it out. I did have a conversation with Scott Gordon regarding a lot of message board chatter about when or if he calls timeouts. You're going to be really interested in what he has to say, because that's definitely going to be one of these. Thwap! Shut up. So
listen, we'll be back on Sunday. Go get that blood done, Denise.
Okay. This is Denise Carl from New York Islanders 7th Woman.
And Anthony Curatolo signing off.
And this is Off the Rush, and we'll see you soon.